Okay, so the first thing I have to address is why am I doing this? Because I am way better in the written word than I am in speaking. But a lot of people have asked me to do this, and so I finally decided it was time, especially with what's happening right now in Canada. I just heard that the white helmets are coming, which is a big problem. These are people who are professional destabilizers. They come into places and cause trouble, all in the guise of saving the day. This is not good, especially in a place like Canada. We don't need these kind of people coming and disrupting what's already disrupted. We just had what can really be called the third terrorist attack in less than a year in Toronto. And now we're bringing in these people that I don't know the whole story, but it sounds like they were rescued or something. And now they're being brought into Canada. But to what end? What's their purpose for being there? It makes no sense to me. Other than the fact that there's already this disruption that's happening. There's already this problem that's happening. And so these are people that are coming in to exacerbate the problem. I just don't understand it. And I mean, okay, so now we have problem number 2 or issue number 2 that might have something to do with it. Trudeau is losing his grip. It's so completely obvious. There's so many people that are just sick to death of him. And we want rid of him. So our alternative, only sensible alternative, is Andrew Scheer, who is busy doing videos about pie contests when there was just a terrorist attack. And there's a trade war going on with the US, and there's all of these different things, and I get it. They're all on summer break, but come on. This is a tough one. And I was reading a comment by Watson Roadster today, and it bothers me because, Watson, what you're talking about is anarchy. Anarchy doesn't work any better than communism, socialism, and even the current form of democracy that we're supposed to be living under. The problem with anarchy is people need people, and we need rules in which to live by. To go anarchy, what you're talking about is people looking out for themselves. Only the strong survive. But what happens to everybody else? What happens to the ones that aren't strong enough to go it on their own? Then what? Those people be damned? I don't know. This is... I'm so much better on a keyboard. But this is number 1. We'll see how it goes. I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but... And I have a lot more thinking to do. But we're heading for a bad, bad place with these white helmets coming into Canada. This is not going to go well at all, because you have these people who, I mean, 250 of them strategically placed throughout Canada, and they have access to these people who are already wanting to cause problems, wanting to tear Canada apart at the seams. I don't know. It's just a really, really bad place that we're going to. I mean, this is Canada we're talking about. Canada is the nice place where people are nice. You go anywhere in the world. I'm not even in Canada right now. I'm in the Shropshires in England. And even here, there's people from all over the world that are talking about how wonderful Canada is and how lucky I am to be from Canada. And yet I'm watching our country be torn apart from the inside out, from people who are more concerned about ridiculous agendas and causing problems where there weren't any problems. I'm not saying Canada was ever perfect. It's not. It wasn't. It never has been. But at the same time, we had a lot of really good things going. And we have people who can't see that for whatever reason. And sometimes I'm starting to wonder if the problems that are being caused, particularly in the West today, are because people can't live with good things. They need the conflict. They need something to be wrong. They need something to complain about. But we're playing a dangerous game with this, especially in Canada. I mean, Canada is a great country. We have so much going for us. We have so many natural resources. We have so many great people. And what are we doing with it? We're trying to destroy it? We have been a shining example to the world of how multiculturalism is done right, how to take care of people, how to be good and do good in the world. And what are we doing but making fools of ourselves with the Prime Minister that we elected, 2 years ago now? Who we can't get rid of because he's in a majority government. And why? Because he was pretty? Like, what the hell is wrong with people? I just don't know. Now, the idea of putting together a kind of MCGA handbook for people, I think is a great idea. Coming up with memes and ways of combating the ridiculous things that are coming out. For example, some of the green energy initiatives, which are so completely not working, the carbon tax, which is nothing more than a money grab, and other places have figured out that it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything for the environment. It's only taking money out of people's hands in whatever way they possibly can. They're not funding that money back into green initiatives. It's not going anywhere near green initiatives. Not to mention the fact, being from Alberta, granted, I'm biased. My whole family has worked at one point or another in the oil and gas industry. Okay, so that being said, you have Alberta gas and oil, the oil sands in particular. Let's just talk about that and getting our oil to market. Obviously, we have a serious problem because we're landlocked, and the only way to get that oil to a larger market so that we can be competitive and get best prices for it is to go through other provinces. The other provinces are blocking us because they're under some insane notion that the oil sands is the worst oil in the world, which it isn't. You have human rights issues in other places. You have the fact that people aren't being paid a fair wage, which they are in Alberta. You have health and safety issues that you don't have in Alberta. I mean, we have health and safety in place so that people are taken care of. I mean, if you want well-produced, ethical oil, look no further than Alberta. But instead, you would rather ship it in from Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, anywhere else in the world but your own country. You should be ashamed of yourself, quite frankly, because you're an idiot. And not only are you an idiot, you're a hypocrite. Because look around you and see what's happening. I mean, come on. You don't have to be a genius, because I sure as hell am not. You don't have to be a genius to see what kind of an idiot you're being whenever you're talking about Alberta oil being unethical. It doesn't fly. It doesn't wash at all. Rant over. And I got completely off topic. See, this is why I'm better on paper, because then I can type it out and think it out and get, stick to one subject at a time. But you asked for it, you got it. This is my monkey mind going crazy and getting so frustrated. I'm going to be back home in August for a month or so. And then I'm shipping off again One of the places I'm going to is Poland for 123, and if you don't know what 123 is, you should look it up because it's fantastic. It's an exercise or a lesson for me anyway in national pride, because in Canada we really don't have it right now. We should be very proud of Canada and everything that Canada stands for, and instead we're pissing up a tree. To be ashamed of a country that has been so good for so many years, it's just mind-blowing. But I will come back again with a little bit more calm, rational thought, because clearly I'm not there right now. But the whole idea of white helmets coming into Canada just scares the crap out of me, because it can only go badly, and I have visions of how bad this could go. There's about to be a storm in Shropshire, I think. It was blowing in anyway, and I'm helping my host, because I used to do Airbnb, and I'm staying in an Airbnb, and my host had to go away for the weekend, so she's left me in charge, which is why I look like crap, and because I've been cleaning and getting things ready all day. Anyway, so this is number one. Hopefully they'll get better. Hopefully I'll be able to stay on point at some point in time. But in the meantime and in between time, this is number one. And it just seems like I can't stay behind the keyboard anymore. I just have to come out and say what I think and what I feel, because if I don't, I think, was it Churchill? I can't even remember now. But there's a saying about good people. It's actually good men, but good people seeing the problems and standing back and saying nothing. And I mean, obviously, it's not that I haven't said nothing, because I comment a lot and get a little carried away with it at times. But we're getting to the point now. I mean, we have an election in another year, and I'm not saying that the Conservatives are the end-all be-all, but it's better than what we've got right now. And the NDP, like, come on, look what they did to Alberta in, what, 2-3 years? They've practically destroyed the province. We have to do something. We have to come up with a plan. There are several vloggers that are working on that plan, and commenters that are helping with the initiative. The hashtag Red Echo, I like that. That's really good. We can work with that. Macaw, Make Canada Great Again. And I get it, Watson. Canada was never great, but it was pretty damn good. But there are powers that are working against us right now, and in a huge way, and we need to fight back. We need to get together, and more people need to voice their opinions and come out from behind the keyboard, from behind the plastic machines, and actually put their face and their name out there. Of course, ADM has helped put my name out there. So yeah, I encourage anybody else that has something to say to get in front of the camera, record it, make yourself known, and let's try to stop the inevitable from happening. I mean, it's not inevitable. We can stop it. I don't think we've hit that tipping point yet, but we're coming to it. And if we don't do something now, things are going to get a lot worse. Yeah. We're in this together. Let's try to fix it.